Bronson Moreau has been outspoken this year, though has declined any chance to speak heading into these next set of games, as they are vitally important. With the poor start to the season that led to his outspokenness, he has got the team back running 3 straight wins with a chance at a potential playoff run. But with only 5 games left and the division 4 games out due to the sweep the 49ers handed us early in the season, we essentially are relying on the wild card. But so are many other teams. As we scroll down the list, there are several teams with 6 losses. That means we have to overcome all of these teams, including the Cardinals, where we start today. Now, while declining to talk this week, you could still be sure Moreau is going to bring that tenacity he's had this entire second half of the season. Those that everyone else is going to come through with a drop. Not really the way you want to start off. That time, DK normally so sure-handed. Got to make sure we bounce back. Sticking with what we do best, we got Ian Thomas. This time, big play shot, getting taken out down at the knees, but a gain to the 33. And who would have thought, outside of Moreau, that running essentially a rollout offense was going to fix our struggling offense? As Moreau looks to tuck and run here, instead he takes a sack. Romeo Aquara will make it slightly tougher here for Moreau. 2nd and 12, sticking with what we've done best, play action. DK downfield keeps it short and is going to be a first down, goal to go. Now this Cardinals team, probably the one we've seen the most success against throughout our time here. Looking for the halfback screen, give Walker a chance with some blockers, but stacked up at the 1. Still though, gotta appreciate the effort there of Moreau trying to keep Kenny involved. We have an RPO dialed up here as it's to the flat, and it is nearly jumped by Thomas. I think you can make the case we might have ran that play too many times down here. Starting to get read well. A little bit of an RPO, though good coverage on the outside. Will hand it off for Kenny, and it is stuffed. This will end up just being a field goal for the Seahawks. Or even worse, they apparently didn't get the field goal. So the game is still 0-0. Moreau did all he could there to show us what the team is willing and not willing to do. This time we find the roll, and it's actually Smith-Njigba coming across. Now that has me questioning earlier if it was DK who had the drop. If it wasn't, my bad DK, keep catching these passes. As we roll, we got him coming across back to Smith-Njigba on the run, up to the 43. He had a really good showing last time out. Look to continue that here as we head into the second quarter. We also saw us have to change up the play style a little bit in that final game. We'll look to add a little bit of what we did last time in here, though. Chandler Jones picking up the sack. Same guy that ruined a touchdown opportunity on 3rd and goal. Clearly we need to keep moving here. We can't sit behind this line. As we do have our receiver coming across, we find DK, who's going to get down to the 20, and now Chris Jones is shaken up. And with that, I think I realized I keep calling him Chandler Jones. Chris Jones, both really good, but not the same person. Play action roll, get this one out to Pat, who will gain a few. Really nothing fancy, but it's better than a loss of a few. So tack together those yards, it's a swing of around 8 or so. As we go with the roll, we've got tight end coming over, and he drops the touchdown. That's now 3 opportunities for points we've missed out on. 3rd and 6, got to convert here. As we continue doing what we do, we're looking for a pass across. An interesting choice to throw it, but it works. Tyler Lockett. Coverage looked really good, but somehow Moreau finds him. 1st and goal, as it's an RPO dialed up, and Thompson coming in from behind pushes him into Williams with the big hit. There's still goal line apparently a struggle here for us in this one. Typically we score from much further out. As Moreau looks to find a little lane, he will dance into the end zone. We finally find that first touchdown, get us on the board, first of the day. But this series wouldn't be what it is without an immediate answer from the Cards. And early movement was it Pat that jumped first. Indeed, It was. So a 1st and 15 then instead. Going back to the play action roll, as again we have DK lead him downfield as he's going to get a nice gain, picking up all that 15 plus some. And as we do, continue getting everyone involved, especially with the play action rollouts here, as it looks to kept short, and we do find Pat this time. He holds on to it, keeping him away from the safeties. That's definitely one thing Moreau has learned here against the Cardinals. Their safeties, really good bunch. But we find ourselves moving inside of the 2-minute warning here, down at the 25. Looking to get Walker a little bit involved here. Take the hit, not too big. He finds the corner and gets a first down to the 10. With us apparently just outside the 10. We still have a little bit of space for a fresh set of downs if we need it. As it's up top and it gets picked off. He was looking for a high pass to DK. Instead, he finds Davis. A turnover that leads to no points. So apparently, goal line is where we struggle, and goal line is where we start in the second half. Continuing with the play action rolls. Get this one out to Pat quickly. We'll get a little stiff arm and we gain a yard. Honestly, any little space we can get here to not get a safety is worth it. 2nd and 8, now going to roll to the opposite side. Make sure we don't roll out the back of the end zone. Try to find a sideline pass, and we do. Or he drops it? Looked like a catch to me. But indeed, it's a 3rd and 8. They are stacking the box here. Expecting we would run it, I'm assuming. Instead, we look for DK. This time, we get the sideline grab, and a magnificent one it is. Normally, those happen in plus territory inside the 20, though. This time, happens in our own 20. As we roll to the right side this time, look for Pat downfield, and he can't find that one either. He does seem to really struggle when it comes to any sort of catch in traffics. 2nd and 10, going back to Walker here. Got some blockers out in front as he gets to the outside and gets close to the first, leaving 3rd and 2. We will not be running it, as we've learned time and time again that does not work. We've got Pat wide open downfield. The hit sent the ball straight to the linebacker, Tavai. Yeah, that happens all the time in real life, doesn't it? Add on to it, of course, that would also lead to the go-ahead score here for the Cardinals. Now playing behind. 2 minutes left in the 3rd. As we roll, look for DK. Ball up high, but swatted away. Only one touchdown managed today, though the offense has moved pretty smoothly. Just a couple mistakes really compounding what's happened here. Rolling across, look for DK downfield. Finding him as he dives out for it. Perhaps that's the big play we were needing here to try to spark something. Offense has come out a little bit flat as they do bring a blitz. Look for the sideline out late, and it's another pick. Moreau has thrown, 3 or 4 of them today. Declined all of the media this week, and maybe he shouldn't have, as it's his own play that is off with his silence. Thrown to the outside, Pat Freiermuth holds on to this one, and Philip Mullins for the Cards is injured on the play. Unfortunate for them, looked like defensive linemen, though for us, we don't really do much with the defensive line. We don't attack it, we look downfield, and that's really the strength of this Cardinals team. Get it out to Walker, avoid any lost yardage, and he will pick up 2, but still leaves us needing 2. With a 3rd down, going back to the play action roll. As we do have a receiver coming across, this time over the top of Tavai. He is not able to pick off that one. It will send us into crunch time here. 4th quarter has arrived. Down a touchdown. Got to answer that. Then look for some plays for our defense. DK coming wide open. We find him inside the 20, down at the 19. Moreau has thrown 3 interceptions today, though the play, at least the other stats, would make you think he would have 3 touchdowns instead. Pat Freiermuth looking to add one, and he will. We tie the game early doors in the 4th. Need to make sure that the defense gets a stop, and let's correct our mistakes here on out. Or apparently the defense wants to challenge us even more and try to get another tie here. Just over 3 minutes left. We do have all 3 timeouts. Get this one out quick to Thomas. Make sure we gain a little something, though he does not get out of bounds. So hurry up, it will be. as they do bring everyone back down towards the line. A little bit of some play action, a free rusher, and a quick throw away from Moreau. He still takes a hit. Should have been a flag. Well, now that we expect the referees to protect us here on the road, as it's 3rd and 10. Looking for a rollout. And for the first time in a while, Moreau, he's going to look to scramble. He slips one, getting into plus territory. And while we could celebrate a good run, we've still got a lot of work to do here as we approach the 2-minute warning. They bring a blitz off the edge. Well, we'll just get it outside then. Hairston, the fullback, still manages to lose a yard. I believe of all the fullbacks we've had here in this series, he has been the worst. 2nd and 11. Back to the play action roll, as again we've got DK downfield with some sideline space, though a great stop there from Thomas, down to the 3. But can we correct our goal line woes? As we're going to have a flat release here from Freiermuth. We do pick up the blocks, get it out to not enough time. Just a split second more and we should have had him. Instead, 2nd and goal, we go spread empty. Moreau hard count. Got to find an open spot. Well, how about DK? Once again to tie this game up inside 2 minutes. Can defense give us one more opportunity? Oh, honestly, I think we would also take an overtime play here. Josh Boone, gain of 8. Cards do have all their timeouts. They just need a field goal to go ahead. And they are moving into plus territory as we tick under a minute. A penalty, though, will back them up. 2nd and 13, though, they get 13. 3rd and 1 as they replay that. 3rd and 6, not sure what happened there. Either way, it's a first down as they're inside the 40. It is field goal range for them. Timeouts being called on both sides. Defense might have let us down here in this one. A win we were desperate for is still on the table. They somehow don't get the field goal, and we start overtime with possession. Perhaps a gift here from Madden for how shenanigan-y the start of this game was, or most of the game was. As we'll look for a deep shot right out the get-go. Instead, there were at least 4 defenders in the backfield, 2 combined for the sack. Our offensive line, anytime we haven't ran a rollout, has just crumbled. So we'll go back to the rollout then. Got to make sure we find something, or instead throw out of what should have been another sack with 2 more defenders. Well, I guess 3rd and 21 it will be. Sticking with the play action roll, we've got DK with a small window. It is knocked away. We'll go back to the Cardinals. So Madden gifts us with an opportunity, but then gives us that kind of blocking. 3rd and 8 here. Need a stop from the defense. It's a throwaway outside of range. Opportunity still presents itself. But once again, we find ourselves backed up deep here at our own 3. A little play action roll. They get everyone to that side. And having to escape the pocket, he can't, and we lose on a safety. He couldn't get over the offensive lineman. And that is a loss. Devastating way to lose that one in what was a must-win game for us, making the rest of this season even more difficult with yet another divisional loss. Now, as we move into the final game of today's episode, this one must be a win. As we go back to the play action roll, we know this is the only way that we can manage this offensive line. This Falcons team has 6 losses. We are now at 8. In fact, majority of the wildcard teams only have those 6, so we could really help ourselves out by picking up a win here in this one, and forcing passes like that is not gonna help Moreau or his team. If he's even gonna try those, they have to be high and only where his guy can get it. Not the case. It leads to a touchdown for the Falcons as they take an early lead. Got his receiver coming across. He finds Tyler Lockett. Gonna pick up a gain of 15. Another team to keep an eye out for down on the bottom tracker are the Chicago Bears, the current 7th seed, who also again have 6 losses as we get sacked. 47 has been all over the place. And already an early runner for Defensive Player of the Week with a sack and an interception. As we roll back to the left-hand side, seems to be the safer option. We find Jackson Smith in Jigba up to the 42. It seems like we just might have to favor the left side for the rollouts in this one. Changing up the option here as we will look for the halfback screen. Get a blocker in front who kind of does, but the safety still ends up slowing down the play. It's only a gain of 3. Well, obviously he didn't get the tackle. Definitely disrupted it. They got a single high safety, everyone else down in the box, trying to match our play action rolls. As Moreau will just look to run himself, trying to get a juke in, gets pushed from behind by Jarrett into the defender, but helps him get the first. I guess you could say a little give or take on that one, as it's down to the 31 for 1st and 10. Not a play action pass. Instead, Moreau, he's going to roll, and he's going to find space to the outside, looking to take on the safety, a little truck stick there as he goes out at the 11. And the real question is can we find the end zone? Last game, we struggled massively down by the goal line. Got to find our way in here. As Moreau had options, he just sat back there, and Grady Jarrett will take an easy sack. And Moreau has very often this year thrown a lot of other people under the bus, but he's not playing too well right now either in crunch time. As he looks for Thomas, he overthrows him. He takes a hit, and looks like we'll settle for a field goal, at least the opportunity. The good news is the opportunity actually was taken. We do get on the board, still down 7-3 as we start our next drive at the beginning of the second quarter here. Rolling across once again, Jackson Smith-Njigba with some space. Turns up, and we're just not breaking first contact across the board here. No one really has done it, not even Moreau. But we'll take the first down into plus territory here. Go back across the middle, find Tyler Lockett. That window was closing. First down for us at the 30. Continuing where we then left off, a lot of play action rolls, and once again going with the underneath option, at least compared to the 2 more downfield. It's Smith-Njigba. Goal to go at the 6. Well, once again, goal line drama here. Can we find the play we need? Well, we've got DK finding the window. Can that break the goal line drama? We take the lead here in Atlanta. With an immediate answer yet again from the Falcons. We find ourselves back down once again, rolling to the right-hand side. We've got a wide open Pat Freiermuth. He's not going to drop that one, stays in bounds, and he is gone. It's a one-play, huge strike for Moreau. Found his open guy, and we not only get the touchdown, but we defy gravity as well. Well, the celebration won't last long. The Falcons defy our defense, and they retake a lead here, as we have about a minute and a half to go down by further, as that pass came up about 5-7 yards short. It's a one-play touchdown drive immediately followed by a one-play interception drive, and us now down by a touchdown. As we look for a play action roll here, slightly different than the usual, we find Tyler Lockett to get us up to the 20. But we've got 29 seconds and only 1 timeout. So we're going to need some much bigger plays if we're to find any more points here this half. Single high safety. Can the line block long enough? I think that answers that question. 0.2 seconds. That is about the longest we have on any non-rollouts to try to find a pass. That is what Moreau has had to deal with this season. As he just looks to chug it downfield, he's putting it in between 2 different options. Unfortunately, neither one of them really seem to want it. With a 3rd and 10, have to at least pick up a first down here, then worry about the clock. As they go back to the rollout, this time going to the right-hand side, DK with some space. I don't know if Moreau wants this anymore, as he will at least get the stop at the 1. But ultimately, I think that pick put this season at a spot where there might not be any coming back from. Moreau did not give up on this game. He did end up throwing another interception late on, but following that, he started to rip apart the defense, making big plays after big plays, including a touchdown pass to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And into the 4th quarter, where it was clear that there was no coming back, Moreau still kept that foot on the gas. He found Jackson Smith-Njigba again for a big gain, 31 yards, setting up a Pat Freiermuth 13-yard touchdown. And before it was all said and done, late on, a minute left in the game, he would find Tyler Lockett 22 yards to wrap out the scoring. Unfortunately, it's a loss that kind of puts the season away from us, though. 52-38 against the Falcons. And after this game, Bronson Moreau, he called a media press conference. First off, I want to thank you all for being here today. Unfortunately, I don't have good news for you. Right now, we are 2.5 games out of the playoffs, that last wild card spot. We got 3 games left. I'm not saying that we're out of it entirely, but what I am saying is following this season, I am stepping away from the game of football. Now, that doesn't exactly mean that I won't be back in the NFL, or who knows, maybe I return to the MLB. And it was our coach that was the reason that I didn't talk to you guys prior to today's lineup. We all know I've been a little outspoken this year, trying to get the team back moving. And it was working. We won 3 straight games. We were looking good, positive, and then clearly today we did not see that. It was coach's decision to take away any leadership role I had, and this is what we had out on the field for you. And that I'm not okay with. So we'll find out next time. Will it be the end of my career, or will we find ourselves squeezing in to the playoffs? I'm using this as a platform not only for wherever I go next, but also for my teammates out there listening. This is the last ride. Show up or we're done.